2 words, Revo Fitness. Here's a few more. Simple, 24/7, reformer Pilates, body scanners, massage chairs, squat racks, free weights, pin and plate loaded equipment, no lock-in contracts, no bullshit. All of that and more from just $9.69 a week. That's surprisingly affordable. Join now at Revo Fitness Belmont or download the Revo Fitness app. RevoFitness.com.au or find the Revo Fitness app in the App Store.
Hands up!
This is the Fitzy and Wippa with Kate Ritchie podcast.
How good is that?
Welcome to the podcast. I would like everyone to stay out of this. I need the floor. Give me the mic. Oh, I'm already on it.
Do you want me to switch everyone off?
Thank you, Jess. Everyone quiet. Everybody. Thanks so much, everyone. No one's in here. I have got a story which I'm going to tick off because I think it is the most romantic story I've heard in the last 10 years. Like, it is a beautiful story. One man has done something every week for his wife for 68 years. It's very generous. You'll hear it all on the podcast.
This is the Fitzy and Wippa with Kate Ritchie podcast.
Unbelievable story. A Peruvian fisherman has been found after spending 95 days lost at sea by himself.
Can you not?
Well, this is the thing. I don't think the ladies are going anywhere near him after 95 days. But this is when you think that's over 3 months at sea by yourself.
Is this legitimate?
This is legit, mate.
Like, to not be found in a body of water after that long and to survive 90 days lost at sea. How?
Maximo Napa Castro, 61 years of age, set off for a fishing trip from Marsona, a town on the southern Peruvian coast, on December 7. Now, he packed enough food for a 2-week trip, but 10 days in, stormy weather threw his boat off course, and he ended up adrift in the Pacific. What's 680 miles off the coast, Tom? What's that in kilometres?
Yeah,
680 miles.
600 is about
I think
90.
that would be 680 miles. Yeah, I would say.
100.
Yeah, it's 1,000 kilometres.
Yeah.
Oh, my gosh. How are you finding that bloke? How is he still alive? Now, we've also got some audio here. This is the moment where he got off the boat and when he saw his brother, and he told his brother that he ran out of bunga worms after 2 days. Isn't that unbelievable?
I thought it was a walrus.
No, so he, after the 2 weeks of food, he said, I ate roaches, birds. The last thing I ate was turtles.
How'd you catch a bird?
He managed to survive on rainwater that he collected on the boat, but he ran out of food, obviously, and he spent the last 15 days without eating.
Oh, my God. He is lucky to be alive. How was he drinking? Because you can go 40 days without food. You can go about 3 days without water. You're dead in 3 or 4 days without water.
That is an unbelievable effort.
How do you kill a turtle?
How do you eat a turtle?
I suppose how do you catch the turtle?
Because you can't. I mean, he's got no fire on the boat, has he? So how do you? You're eating a raw turtle.
God,
I
was fishing once, Fitz, in the Whitsundays.
If only you could go missing for 95 days.
No one would hear any of my stories. I was fishing one day in the Whitsundays, and something takes the bait and runs hard. The bloke looks at me, and he's been fishing in this area for 52 years, and he goes, whatever is on that is a big boy. So I'm fighting this thing for half an hour. Yeah. All of a sudden, a giant turtle jumps out of the water.
You caught a turtle?
I caught a huge turtle.
Oh,
and
mate,
then I tried to bring it to the back of the boat because I said, I don't know what to do here, mate. And he goes, we bring it in, then we just unhook it. Anyway, we finally got it in, and the turtle was fine. But the guy said, you never, ever see that. They just don't go for bits of bait like that. So we unhooked the turtle, and he swam away. But I said to him, man, if we were going to be lost at sea, how would we eat this? He said dumplings. He said we would turn it into dumplings.
That is,
Fascinating story.
You know what? We had such a great story here of Maximo finding his family after 95 days, and you back it up with catching a turtle in the Whitsundays on probably a 100-foot yacht or something like that.
Yeah, 120.
This is the Fitzy and Wippa with Kate Ritchie podcast.
There's some weird stuff going on in relationships. I don't even know if we need romantic music, Jess. I'm so torn. I mean, we told a story last week.
Is that too...
Let me know when you work it out, yeah?
We told a story last week about a man who had impregnated a mother and a daughter at the same time.
Yeah, that
Well,
was...
the women were pregnant at the same time. Mother and daughter both pregnant to the same guy.
I mean, it's not something to be proud of, is it?
I mean, but they were fine with it. There was a photo and he's sitting in the middle of the two of them and they're heavily pregnant on the couch. And it's like he thinks he's the king of the world. And they seem to be happy with it. Like the mum and daughter are sharing something very special at the same time.
Well, it's a good way of approaching it. It is. I mean, you got to be positive, don't you? I suppose if you are negative about it, I mean, the child's starting their life around a negative sort of atmosphere.
A little bit weird to go, oh, I'm pregnant to Darren. No way, so am I. Oh, Mum, I knew we had so much in common. That's weird. That's getting really weird. This story here this morning challenges that story for the weirdest story of 2025. It starts out by saying everybody makes a mistake. So this woman has a daughter and she's 18. She was 38 at the time. So mum's 38, daughter's 18. Daughter's dating a guy called Harry who was 24. Daughter and Harry break up. Mum starts seeing Harry.
Oh, Harry.
Mum has baby with Harry.
Oh, gosh.
Doesn't say anything.
Fair enough.
Harry then gets back with daughter 18 and they continue their relationship and now they're married. Mum hasn't said anything till now.
But yeah, but so the daughter has now got a sister or a brother. That's correct?
Yep.
Yeah. Yep. Another child has arrived,
Yep.
which is either a sister or a brother, and has no idea.
That's
that
right.
it's-
So
that
Mum has kept it a secret all that time and said, oh, there was a man in my life at that stage and he is the father, the mystery man that we don't know about. So Harry has gone and married the daughter and said nothing, knowing he is the father of the mother's child.
Yeah.
Why don't we just stick with the basics? If that goes with that, and that's isolated over here.
Yeah.
If you put that one in that one, then that stays
puzzle-
over here.
Yeah, that puzzle piece will not go into the corner. Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Like, let's keep. I mean, if they're connecting over here and they're in over here, do it there and leave that there. Do it over there, leave that there.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying.
The world is a complicated place, though, mate. You know what I mean? And love, like you said, you keep saying on the show, I love love.
Yeah.
I love, you know how romantic I am. You say that all the time. And love can take over sometimes. It's a powerful force.
Yeah, but the weird thing was, too, apparently Harry kept hitting on the mum. So she said, I continued to turn him down. Well, one day I said yes. We ended up having a couple of drinks. We went back to his house and it was on like Donkey Kong. Which is a weird expression to go with such a sensitive story. And then to think Harry went, oh, I've been there, might go back to the daughter. What's going on, Harry?
Yeah.
Like, you've got no respect, Harry. And you've been lying to your now wife about your mother's child, who you seem to look a lot like, because you're the bloody father, mate.
Well, you're not the father, so...
Because you know what?
I wouldn't be giving him advice.
You've been a busy little dickie, haven't you, Harry? You know what I mean? You've been far too busy and you should pull yourself in a bit. As my mum would say, pull your socks up, Harry. You're better than that.
Well said. Do you want to take another bite of your apple before we come back from the next song?
third break lucky for that apple.
Yeah.
The Fitzy and Wippa with Kate Ritchie podcast.
Can we talk about what I would consider the most beautiful story I've heard so far in 2025?
I'll be the judge of that.
You know I love romance, Fitz. A husband does the same thing each Friday for 68 years, leaving people in tears. That's the headline.
68 years commitment. There's got to be one Friday he's at a rest or he's gone out with the lads or something. There has to be.
He's 89 years old.
What?
And for 68 years, every Friday, he has bought his beloved wife flowers.
He's flogging them from... So look at Ash. Look at the reaction from Ash.
It's beautiful. Ash, do you know what this
So sweet.
I know. What's the name of your bloke? Is it Trent?
Christian.
Christian's fine. Does he do flowers on the regular?
Trent.
Frequently enough, yeah.
I love that so much.
But not every Friday.
Not
Ash.
every Friday, no.
So
He's obviously flogging them from someone's yard. Has to be.
No, he purchases them, buddy. And he gets a gift box. And do you know what he does? As he gets back to his car, he writes a little note before he drives home to give them to her.
Yeah.
And he attaches that to the flowers. So this guy has stopped him and said, hey, what do you write in your note? Just to thicken up the story. He said, I always write to her and tell her what I loved about her that week.
Wow, that's a lot of effort, isn't it? There would be a moment. There's got to be a moment where she's like, thanks, Dave. Oh, you got him again, did you? Whoa. Oh, yeah, you liked that.
Mate.
I wore that this week, did you?
Another
Good
guy
on you, mate.
Another guy jumped in and said, my dad did this for my wife. My mum, even when she had dementia. She didn't even know, but he still bought the flowers every week.
No, that's The Notebook. That's the movie, The Notebook. They've taken that from Notebook.
Do you know what's interesting too? Is the guy who has told the story about the 8-year-old buying flowers.
It was 68 years. He's 89.
Sorry, yeah. He's done it for 68 years.
Do you want me to do the story?
No, I've got it.
No, okay.
The guy who's telling the story has worked at the florist for 3 years. So...
Wait up. Is there a deal going on here?
No, but I'm saying...
Is this an ad for a florist in Double Bay that you're using?
Absolutely
Tommy.
not.
Tommy, this is
It's no handshake.
What a rort.
No, the point No.
Are you the Duchess of Double Bay? I've got a story about her later on.
The point I'm making is, how would this guy know? Like, I could be 68 years old and go in and buy flowers for the past 3 years.
Or 89 years old.
Oh, my God, I've lost the plot. And I could say to the guy who's been there for 3 years, I've been doing this for 68 years.
So how long was the guy at the florist for?
3 years.
And how old is she?
The wife. Don't confuse this more than I've made it a mess. They've been married.
How long have they been married?
60 years.
What? But
Yeah.
wait up. You said that he bought them for 68 years.
8 years prior to them getting married, they were together.
So it took him 8 years to propose.
That's got
What a
nothing
loser.
to do with the story, mate. You're completely missing the romantic part.
8 years to propose. He obviously wasn't 100% sure about it.
This is the Fitzy and Wippa with Kate Ritchie podcast.
2 words, Revo Fitness. Here's a few more. Simple, 24/7, reformer Pilates, body scanners, massage chairs, squat racks, free weights, pin and plate loaded equipment, no lock-in contracts, no bullshit. All of that and more from just $9.69 a week. That's surprisingly affordable. Join now at Revo Fitness Belmont or download the Revo Fitness app. RevoFitness.com.au or find the Revo Fitness app in the App Store.
G'day, this is Curtis Stone with Fitzy, Wippa and Kate.
Curtis Stone is more than a pretty face. Curtis Stone's career in food has continued to reach new heights and even Michelin stars.
It's Curtis Stone!
Has he called through for the $3,000?
The 3-minute thrill.
Yeah.
Curtis Stone, are you there? Ah, there he is.
Curtis, hello, buddy. Can I just say,
Your voices, how are you?
Curtis Stone, as I follow you on social media, it certainly hasn't been a quiet time. Curtis Stone, Grand Prix, Don Julio parties, mate, with Mel C.
I might have made an appearance at that party, that's true.
It looked awesome.
How deep did you go at the Grand Prix? How far did you get? Like, were you down in the pits?
I did do the pit walk. I actually did the grid walk right beforehand, before the race, which was crazy. So cool. It's such a great event.
Curtis, I don't know if you've been in this situation. I know I have, where I was at a charity event and they had an F1 car there. And they said, you can sit in it if you want. Now, you're taller than I am. Those guys are tiny, aren't they, those F1 drivers?
They're car jockeys, and there's no way you or I could fit in one of those cockpits. They're so small. They don't have an inch to breathe, and they're little guys. So, yeah, they're tiny.
Have you got a big Dodge over in the States? I mean, over in the States, the bigger the better with cars, isn't it? Curtis, do you need a big car for the family?
Look, we've got an electric car, and we've got a 66 Oldsmobile, which is a big old muscle car that probably makes up for all of the good that we do with the electric car, because it's a gas guzzler, mate. It's
awesome.
It's a cool old vintage car.
And is that the weekend car that the family packs into, is it?
Yeah, that's just a Sunday go and surf in, throw the boards in the back and cruise down to the PCH.
Magnificent, mate. It's so good to have you back home. Hey, just quickly, we just wanted to ask, how did you go with the LA wildfires? Did you avoid them, or was there anyone that you knew that got affected by them, Curtis?
Yeah, we live right there in Brentwood, so we were sort of, it burnt right up to our street. So sadly, we know lots and lots of people that have lost their homes, and the kids, playing soccer teams where half the team lost their homes. So it's been really devastating over there. We've been busy throwing fundraisers and trying to be active parts of the community to take care of all the people that were affected. So luckily our house was still there, but we were evicted for a few weeks. We had to get out of there for a few weeks.
Yeah, well, I was wondering because when you don't know where it's going to stop, obviously everybody over there that is aware of the fires that can happen in LA, you had a plan. So how long do you wait for? Did you pack the car and get ready to go? And
look, it came so by surprise. I was at the restaurant busy, and Lindsay called me and said, we have to evacuate. And I said, what are you talking about? And I didn't even know that there was a fire at that point. God. And by that evening, the phone was ringing and people were losing homes, and it happened so fast. So we were lucky to get out quickly, and we spent a couple of weeks down in Santa Barbara sort of watching it on the news. So it was a really scary time. But look, Aussies are no stranger to fires, so it was something, I guess, that sadly felt quite familiar as an Aussie, and I think the community's done a great job of sort of springing up for each other and helping each other out. We just did a big fundraiser over there for 1,000 people at the Rose Bowl, which was really beautiful to see, all the people that had been affected come together with people that were trying to help them.
It's beautiful.
Well done. Hey, we had the Mumford & Son boys were here for 48 hours. Great band. Have you seen them live before, Curtis?
I haven't seen them live, but I love them. They're so good.
They're so good. So they were here for 2 days, and they played one surprise show at the Opera House, and then they opened it up and people could buy tickets to go and see them. They're going to come back for a world tour. But it was really interesting that Marcus Mumford loves Australia. He said this is where their sort of career kicked off. But he said that... I love Australia so much because I buy a certain thing from Australia and take it back to my farm back home. Have a listen to this, Curtis.
I once bought some Wagyu semen from Australia, actually.
What'd you do with it?
I tried doing some Wagyu in the UK. It didn't really work. You've got to finish it on grain, and we don't finish on grain. We finish on grass.
That's right. You've got cattle.
100% grass.
Can I ask how much you spent on your Wagyu semen?
I got a favourable rate, but these little knobbly kneed little didn't do very well where I was, yeah.
So, is our Aussie Wagyu semen the best in the world? Is that why everyone comes to get it, Curtis?
You know what? I've never really been in the semen business, if I could be totally honest with you. So I'm not qualified to talk about it.
Well, go on, Vince.
Where do we sit? Where do we sit on the Wagyu scale globally? Are we pretty good with our beef, Curtis?
Well, it's very rare, very, very rare to have full-blood Wagyu outside of Japan, but there is a guy here, Ben Blackmore, and his father, David Blackmore, who started their farm, and they brought over full-blood Wagyu, and they still run it. There's a lot of Wagyu, which, of course, is just a slightly different bloodline. But I think Blackmore's Wagyu is the best in the world, and we import it into the US. In fact, I'm the distributor for it, so I'm glad that there's a bit of an appetite for Aussie Wagyu over there because. It's such a beautiful product. We really do. And I think we do have that attitude that we do still run cattle on grass, and that's, of course, the most natural way. And it does bring a real interesting flavour and minerality to the beef rather than something that's just been grain-fed its whole life.
Because I've always thought it'd be great to be brought up as a Wagyu, a cow, because you hear stories, Curtis, where they get massaged. I think this is in Japan. They drink beer all day. They get belly rubs. I mean, is that actually correct? They have that level of care for the cow?
There's all sorts of crazy stories. I mean, they play music to them. It really is quite a fascinating process. And there's a lot of secrecy around Wagyu production because, of course, one farmer doesn't want to give all these secrets away to the next farmer.
IP.
So there's a lot of I don't know if a lot of it's myth or not, but there's certainly very expensive cattle and taken very, very good care of. And I wouldn't mind being a Wagyu myself.
No. Do you know, Curtis, there's a rule every time you come in, and obviously you're not here in the studio, you're on the phone, and that rule is it's either food or a present. So you've got a brand new range of glass containers out. Everybody's putting plastic to the side and they're loving glass at the moment. This looks great, what you've designed.
Oh, thanks, mate. They're really cool because you can cook in them, you can freeze in them. Of course, you can store your food, your leftovers in them as well. They come with a little pump action top, so you can keep your food fresher for longer. You can pump some of the air out and keep it airtight. And the best part is you can get them all for free from Coles. So they start today, and whenever you spend $20 on just swipe your Flybuys card, and you get a credit, and then you can redeem those credits with your new glass storage containers.
I love that, buddy.
Mate.
Always on it. Always on it.
Curtis Stone, you are one of our favourite guests on this show, mate, and we always love having you back in this great country. Thank you very much for your time, mate. Appreciate it.
So nice talking to you guys. Thanks for having me.
This is the Fitzy and Wippa with Kate Ritchie podcast.
Two words that just get me so excited.
Michael Whipfley.
No, roast and chook.
Damn.
When you put those two together, the old tradies handbag, the old bachelor's handbag, the roast chook, and whenever you walk into any Woolies or Coles or anything like that, you can just smell that. That waft can come from anywhere. Eljana as well. I mean, it's just, we just gave away $300 worth of charcoal chicken.
It's a lot of chicken.
Actually, Woolies has got a hot roast chicken range. Which I can understand. You've just got the normal barbecue chicken.
Yeah.
Then you've got the tandoori flavour. They've just released another one. And I'm sort of at the point of, you don't need this. It's sort of like the Tim Tam whip.
Okay.
The Tim Tam is less is more, I think, is better. But the amount of flavours that you can get through the Tim Tam now, it's just getting ridiculous.
I've spoken to you about ice cream flavours here. There's too many combinations going on where really it needs to be kept very simple. Chocolate, strawberry, vanilla.
I agree.
Maybe caramel.
So Woolies has just released the garlic bread hot roast chicken.
Well, it sounds good.
Well, it does.
I mean, why don't you just get garlic bread on the side of your chicken? Do you have to merge them?
It's a fair call. Or why can't it just be garlic roast chicken? Why does it? Do the actual flavours taste like garlic bread?
Well, maybe the stuffing is garlic bread.
That's not bad. Who eats the stuffing? No one eats the stuffing.
Oh, yeah, a bit of the stuffing.
Where do you put the stuffing?
Well, just on the side with the chicken.
No, you don't.
Yeah, you can.
No, you don't. And the next day,
people
when
do eat the stuffing. Tom is a stuffing master.
I love it.
He'll stuff anything.
And that with gravy. Oh,
you're right. The gravy with the stuffing.
Yum.
13, 24, 10 if you eat the stuffing in a roast chook. That is ridiculous. Garlic bread hot roast chicken at Woolworths.
Do you know, I was always confused too when you go in there because you've got, and you always look at the prices too, because you've got the normal chicken and it's in sort of more of a browner bag, sort of a farm fresh looking bag fits, and then there's the organic one in the green bag, and I never know what to do. I mean, isn't the chicken organic anyway?
It's a great decision to make. Brock in Kurnell, do you eat the stuffing, Brock?
Mate, I won't leave any of it left.
Wow. Oh, there it is.
It's the best.
It's dessert.
What is in the stuffing? Can we just...
Breadcrumbs.
Yeah.
Garlic, herbs.
Rosemary.
Yep, parsley, sage, rosemary and thyme.
Oh, is it breadcrumbs?
Yeah, breadcrumbs. Tell me what else is in stuffing. You love it. You're a
Yeah,
fan.
absolutely. Well, Sarah from Mount Annan might know she's a stuffing fiend.
Oh, okay. Says, have you stuffed yourself or do you just eat the stuffing?
Get stuffed, Fitzy.
Sarah, what do you have? What do you have the stuffing with? With the chicken, or do you put it into your bread?
Just as is.
Oh,
just as is. Would you
Straight
go
out
as
of the chicken.
Would you go as far as saying you prefer the stuffing over the chicken?
Sometimes.
Really, the chicken is just an oven for the stuffing.
You're getting so many calls on this.
Oh,
That's
man.
amazing. So many people are into the
I
stuffing.
mean, you're right.
Okay.
I need gravy on my stuffing, or you can get stuffed. Sarah said it.
Can we?
It's huge.
Oh,
Look at them coming
garlic
through.
bread, hot roast chicken. It's at Woolworths
Can we
right
talk
now.
to Sam in Warunga? Is
Yeah.
Sam there?
We're
Sam's
going again.
passionate. He wants to say something loud and proud. What do you think, Sam?
Oh, mate, love a bit of stuffing from the chook. And I put it, you know what I do? When I'm making a chicken sandwich with some fresh lettuce and mayo, put some stuffing in with that.
Wow.
Great with some salt and pepper. The best ever.
Oh, is the stuffing good for you? Could you? Because I know. No, I mean the white meat. No, it's not, is it? I mean the white meat is the best.
Yeah.
It's the skin of the roast chook that you're not really supposed to be eating, but it is the best part of the roast chook. The stuffing's not that good for you, is
If
it?
you can go third of skin, chicken and stuffing in a sandwich, white bread, mayonnaise, thick butter, you die a happy man. See you later, guys. I'm off for a smoke.
The white bread has to be fresh, though, doesn't it? Has to be fresh.
Yeah, fluffy roll even, with a bit of flour on top.
Can we get?
Oh, Tom, I'm getting horny. I'm hungry.
As part of our merchandise range, can we get Fitzy and Wippa roast chickens?
Oh, yeah, roast Fitzy and Wippa. I love that.
Can we get onto Aljana, Tommy?
Yeah.
And do a special stuffing sandwich by Fitzy and Wippa.
Oh, I love this.
You know what I mean?
Now we're talking.
Okay, I always knew we'd come around to something good.
Yeah.
We've wasted 4 minutes of your time so far.
This is the Fitzy and Wippa with Kate Ritchie podcast.
2 words, Revo Fitness. Here's a few more. Simple, 24/7, reformer Pilates, body scanners, massage chairs, squat racks, free weights, pin and plate loaded equipment, no lock-in contracts, no bullshit. All of that and more from just $9.69 a week. That's surprisingly affordable. Join now at Revo Fitness Morley or download the Revo Fitness app. RevoFitness.com.au or find the Revo Fitness app in the App Store.
This is really interesting because we have an AI expert in the studio here. I think this is really important because it doesn't matter what age you are. Do you start educating yourself on this? And what's the best way to introduce yourself to AI? This man has a PhD in human AI creative collaboration. Rodolfo Ocampo, welcome to the Fitzy and Wippa with Kate Ritchie show. Welcome.
Thank you so much. Happy to be here.
I don't know where to start. Just to confirm also for the listeners, you are here in person. This is not an AI-generated voice. I mean, if we were to look at how things have changed on a very base level, what percentage of the community do you think are using OpenAI or ChatGPT now?
Some estimations are putting the number of users at 500 million, at least for OpenAI. It was actually the fastest growing application in history today. So it was the fastest application to reach 100 million users. It took other applications like Instagram years to get there. It took ChatGPT months.
Can I explain? I mean, I was trying to tell Dad what it was the other day. Dad's 76. And I was saying, well, basically, Dad, what it does is it, instead of a Google search, it can actually collate what Google might look for. And you'd obviously have traditionally clicked through the articles to try and find the information. But ChatGPT can serve it up for you the way you want it. Would that be, I mean, for people listening who don't know what ChatGPT is, would that be a good way to describe it?
Yeah, I think that's a good starting point. Essentially, ChatGPT is what we call a language model, large language model. And the way they work is that it's trained on basically all of the information on the web, as you say. So all of the text on the web is given to this neural network that is trained to do one thing, which is predicting the next word. Giving a starting sequence, it has to produce the next word. But what's really interesting is that just by doing this millions and millions of times, by guessing the next word, predicting the next word, it kind of like has this emergent intelligence.
Yeah.
Yes.
And a good example is if you read a whole novel, like a detective novel or something like that, and then the last sentence is, and the murderer is. You have to understand the whole novel to be able to say who is the killer.
That's a great way to put it.
So it's just fascinating that just by training an algorithm to do basically an autocomplete, a prediction of the next word, it can have all of this intelligence and it can solve really complex problems. Now it can do coding much better than a human can.
Wow. It's crazy. So if AI now has become more capable of generating content, do you see them as tools that enhance human creativity or as competitors that may eventually redefine it? Now, that is an amazing question by Fitzy that I just put into ChatGPT, and I wrote the question, how do I impress Rodolfo Ocampo? And that's what it gave me, guys.
There it is.
So I sounded quite smart, but I've used the ChatGPT to do that. But it is an actual great question, Rodolfo, because everyone is so scared. If it's now actually thinking for us, will it redefine creativity altogether and take over?
That is an excellent question, and that is something that fascinates me very deeply because a really interesting research paper just came out by Microsoft. And essentially, it looked at the critical thinking skills of hundreds of people, and it found that increased usage and over-reliance on ChatGPT and AI decrease their critical thinking skills.
Of course, yes.
Right?
You don't have to do anything yourself anymore.
Exactly. So if you're not using this critical thinking muscle or just any cognitive skill, then you're going to lose it eventually.
Naturally.
But there's this also other research that came out and shows that students actually that were using ChatGPT in a dialogue, so like going back and forth, asking questions, actually increased their critical thinking skills. They were able to dissect a topic to more detail, and actually it helped their critical thinking skills compared to students that were not using it. So it's a lot about how you use it. It can both make you smarter, more creative, or it can make you dumber and less creative and just make you more lazy, like any technology, really.
Rodolfo, can I ask, I've heard about bad actors that will try and use AI for very bad and dangerous things.
Yep.
To your knowledge, what is the most dangerous thing that AI could present to the modern world?
Again, it's like this double-edged sword. One AI solved one of the biggest mysteries in biology. We can use this knowledge to tackle things like Alzheimer's, cancers, Parkinson's. But the other side of that is that a bad actor that gets their hands on this can design biochemical weapons, right? And this is one of the great things. There's a guy called Eliezer Yudkowsky. So he's like the biggest guy in terms of like AI risk, and he's always like sounding the alarm. But essentially, he says that the biggest danger of AI is just AI going rogue and creating this superbugs, these like proteins that just like spread in the atmosphere, and then it literally kills everyone. So he says this is possible either by a bad actor asking the AI to do that, or just AI say deciding, hey, humans are really bad for the planet, let's just get rid of them.
It seems really weird to hear that a computer could make a decision that we should all be dead.
And personally, I don't think that's going to be the case. No. I don't think that is a scenario that it has a high chance of happening because of many reasons. You know, there's many like safety measures. But I think in terms of like more immediate term dangers, deep fakes and just false information, I think that's really dangerous as well. And we already have bad actors using it in that way.
Rodolfo, for anyone listening, what's the best way to introduce yourself to AI? What would be the best way to start learning about it, especially someone, you know, who's a little bit older? How do we start learning about it?
I think using it is you know, getting your hands on it. So you can literally just go, try ChatGPT for free. I personally, from just playing with it, I've learned the most. There's a lot of content on YouTube as well.
Wow, this is fascinating. Rodolfo is an AI expert. We appreciate your time, buddy. And look, if we have any further questions, we might keep using you if that's okay. But thanks for coming in.
Be happy to.
Rodolfo,
Thank
great
you so
to
much.
meet you, buddy. Thanks a lot.
You.
This is the Fitzy and Wippa with Kate Ritchie podcast.
There's nothing better than when a security guard has no idea who the person is and will not let them in.
Priceless.
Well, remember it happened to Pink at the Manly Skiff Club. Remember that?
Yeah, I think she was singing this song as she arrived at the front door and they went, absolutely no way.
And Well, that's because she didn't have ID to get in, and you need your ID. It's like an RSL. You need your ID, and they need to get all your details before you get in. Remember, they denied her, and then the next day they realised that they'd stuffed up.
Bit too late.
They decided to give her a free day out on the water on a skiff.
There you go. Does her ID say Alicia? Is that her name?
Yeah.
Alicia who?
It doesn't say Pink,
Alicia
mate.
Moore.
It doesn't say Pink. Hey, just some others here in Sydney as well. 13 24 10 if you've seen a celebrity being rejected from a bar or something. But when the lockout laws are on, there was some huge names that couldn't get back in. Madonna got locked out of her own after party here in Sydney.
What?
She went outside to make a phone call and they wouldn't let her back in because of the law.
Probably a good idea.
Prince was not... This was before he passed away. He couldn't get back into his own party. Drake, Marilyn Manson, Ed Sheeran couldn't get into a bar here in Sydney because it was the lockout laws. That is unbelievable. Okay, this is an even bigger story. Okay, so this is over in Miami. Lagos Country Club in Miami is one of the most...
my favourite at this time of the year.
It is the golf course that everyone wants to play at. And if you are the greatest sportsman of all time, Michael Jordan, who is the person from Lagos Country Club that's pulling him aside and said, mate, you can't wear cargo shorts. We're going to have to get you to leave the course.
That's a brave man, isn't it? Now unemployed.
So,
mate, rules are rules.
They said, Michael, we do have some other shorts that you can wear. He refused to wear them, and they told him that you need to leave the course after the 12th hole. He didn't even finish his 18 holes.
He's a good golfer too. Well, mate, he would have known the rules, Fitz. You can't just turn up because you're Michael Jordan and think shorts are fine.
Yeah.
Lawson is in the gong. Hey, buddy.
Hey, mate, how are you?
You kicked a celebrity from a nightclub, is that right?
Yes. I was 18, I'm 33 now. I ejected Kanye West.
No way.
Wait, what club was it, Lawson?
Veranda Bar, Elizabeth Street.
What happened, mate?
Oh, well, Kanye was performing and DJ Greenland, I think it was, this guy, one number before him, started to smoke something inside the club, and then I was young then at the time, and I was like, what do I do? Do I let it go? And he was like, no, you're going to have to get him out of the club. I'm like, you sure? So, I had to eject him out of the club.
Oh, did he have security guards around him, Lawson?
Yeah, it was actually I was young, 18, and there was 6'5", huge dude that stood over the top of me. I was like, "He's sure?"
Did they say anything, Lawson?
Kanye was quite happy to go, but that DJ Green Lantern kicked off a bit and it got a bit heated. But Kanye was quite happy. He got paid, and then he left.
Nothing worse than having to finish your spliff outside, you know what I mean?
Yeah, I know.
Exactly right.
Lawson, on behalf of everybody, I thank you for kicking Kanye West after the way that he's ended up these days, Lawson. So well done, son.
Oh, thank you.
Thanks, Lawson.
Well
Thanks. Oh, hang on a minute. Producer Ollie's wandered into the studio. Let's get his mic on. Have you got a story?
How long have you been a security guard for, Ollie?
No, this was a couple of years ago. This was back when COVID had just started finishing. I was working at a restaurant in Manly.
Yeah.
I won't name it. And I think Keith Urban was in town filming The Voice.
Love it.
And he was staying in Manly, and he tried to come to get a table for dinner, just walked by, and the manager was like, sorry, mate, no tables available, da-da-da-da. And a few of us working there were like, I think he's pretty short. You can sort of tell who Keith Urban is, and we had to sort of say, and then it was too late. He'd gone down the street. The manager tried to run, and then it was awkward. And then other diners were like, why is it like? And it was just, And then we saw him walking back like an hour later with like another takeaway pizza, and he was just obviously
because that's the worst thing. He's going to tell everybody they wouldn't let him in. I tried to go into that new joint last night. Wouldn't let me in.
And you know what? You boot someone who's sitting outside. You have Keith Urban sitting out the front. What a great marketing plan for your restaurant. Keith Urban eats here.
Yeah.
Unbelievable.
You could have launched 12 months of advertising off the back of that. Ollie, you should have stepped in and said to your boss, tell him to play for... You know what? He can have a free pizza if he picks up the guitar. Give us a song, Keith.
Well done, Ollie.
Ollie.
You've got on air, mate, so you're in the running for the Formula One this weekend. Down
Was last weekend.
Fingers crossed.
Thanks, Ollie.
Fitzy and Wippa with Kate Ritchie is a Nova podcast. For more great shows like this, download the Nova Player via the App Store or Google Play.
The Nova Player.
2 words, Revo Fitness. Here's a few more. Simple, 24/7, reformer Pilates, body scanners, massage chairs, squat racks, free weights, pin and plate loaded equipment, no lock-in contracts, no bullshit. All of that and more from just $9.69 a week. That's surprisingly affordable. Join now at Revo Fitness Morley or download the Revo Fitness app. RevoFitness.com.au or find the Revo Fitness app in the App Store.